There was a dark day in my life in the years of bullying I had at secondary school where I was cornered one lunchtime by a group, and the ringleader grabbed hold of me and whilst the others held me down, stamped down onto my leg and broke it. And I can remember being in hospital and many months afterwards dreaming of getting revenge, thinking, actually, I don't want to break one leg, I want to break both legs, maybe arms as well. I want to get all those bullies and have all their noses broken. It was a dream I would have. And of course, we live in a world where people exact that sort of retribution. It's not tit for tat, it just escalates, and more violence is perpetrated between individuals and between gangs and between families. And that is why the Sermon on the Mount and how we are to live in this fallen world is so important for us to understand. So let's read Matthew 5:38. You have heard it said, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's Jesus referring back to Leviticus, back to Exodus, Deuteronomy. I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If someone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. If someone wants to sue you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. If someone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. The law was given to protect the innocent. The law of retribution, the law of according to kind or punishment that fits the crime is a good thing. Jesus is not denigrating this. He isn't saying that actually we shouldn't have a judicial system, a legal system, a police force that help protect the innocent, the person who's abused, the person who is vulnerable. No, Jesus is addressing the issue of the heart for the disciples who live in this fallen world. And he is telling them that actually to live the way the world does, where we will escalate, where we take the law into our own hands, when we think we can be judge, jury and executioner, is not the way the Christian lives. The way we are to live is that we are to live a life that understands there is a higher authority that we submit to. There is one who is in control. And therefore, it isn't saying in a very sort of literal meaning that if someone asked you outside of Sainsbury's today, can I have your coat, that you give them your jumper, and he says, oh, can I have your jumper, you give him a shirt, and you walk home naked every time. No, it's not arguing for a literal translation. He's asking us to consider how we might apply the righteousness and rule of God into every situation, where we don't act immediately by our own instincts and by our own judgments, but allow God to bring grace into that situation. I met this guy many years later at work, the guy who broke my leg. And when I met him, rather than feeling like, oh, I want to break his arm or nose, I felt the love and compassion of Jesus Christ, because I saw this was my life until Christ found me. So be encouraged to live by the righteousness of God today.